Mark, thanks for joining us. Look back at MK Dons on Tuesday, first of all. How happy were you to get the 3 points on the evening?
Yes, it was much needed after a good point away at Ipswich. I said that after the Ipswich game, that if we could turn that point into 4 by winning, obviously, our home game, that was what we needed to do, and another clean sheet, so really happy with that.
When you look on a team sheet and you see someone you know well, like a Nicky Maynard, I imagine he's at Cardiff, does that help you at all? Because you must know his game. It must have been a case of coming in every day.
Yeah, you do know people well, but then it's a case of, obviously, you know their strengths and you know what they're good at. So, I mean, you've got to just try and counteract that, and we knew that they played a lot of football. He was probably a little bit isolated, which is obviously to deal with them, but might have helped us. I think they only had 1 shot on target, so yeah, really pleased with that.
When you look at it now, we've kept 2 clean sheets in a row. Other than Mark Hudson coming back into the side, what do you think the big difference has been in those last 2 games that's got us over the line?
We're working from front to back as a team. We really are working hard, and sometimes it might not be free flowing, but that's this league, and you've got to work against teams. You've got to sort of work with who you're playing against. And Ipswich was a direct style of football, an away game for us, which is perfect result. And then we knew that we had to come back against a footballing side, and we would have to surrender a bit of possession and be okay with that. And that was our game plan, and we did it well.
When you have a manager at a club like Chris Powell, who's an ex-England defender, do you think there's an extra emphasis on what's happening at the back there? Because obviously that's what he plied his trade at.
I know, yeah, that's where the gaffer played, but I don't think that's an overall has an effect on what his team setup is. I think we are trying to play good football. We've got pace going forward. We've got attacking players, but we've just got to try and find a balance. And in the last 2, we've done that.
Playing in defence, there's a lot made of the experience you have and what an asset that can be as a defender. I think definitely in your time here, this is probably the back 4 with the most experience that we've had. When you look at the addition of Martin Craney, even Jason, though he's a young man, has played international football. How much do you think that helps in terms of game management? Yeah,
of course it does. Yeah, I think you can look to your left and to your right, and you know their strengths, and you feel secure. And I felt that personally in the last 2, definitely. And I know that obviously I missed a bit of football before that, but it's been a process, and we're working towards that. And yeah, we're really happy with the way this week's gone so far, but we know it changes so quickly, so we've got another big one on Saturday.
Absolutely, and where a third clean sheet is a target, it's as hard as it can get against the likes of Darren Bent and Chris Martin. What can you guys do to try and prepare for that threat and counter?
I think as a team they do play good football, attractive football, but they've got a threat at the end of it as well. From either it could be the wingers, it could be Ince, it could be Russell. We've obviously got Butts there, we know his qualities, and he's having to fight for his place, which shows you the level and strength and depth that they've got. So we know it's going to be a tough game, but we'll prepare right, and hopefully we'll get something out of the game.
In your preparations, you look back at games we've had against Derby, and they've been tight affairs, not necessarily the number of goals going in, but they've been very close between the 2 sides. It was a draw last year at home.
That's right, yeah.
Narrow loss at
3-2,
yeah, Pride Park. So do you take anything from those games, or do you personally look at past games, or just take each one as it comes?
Yeah, I think that we can give anyone a good game on our day, which is what we've tended to do against good teams, and hopefully we can do that on the weekend. We know that we can hurt teams. We've got, like I said before, we've got attacking threats, and we've got starting to get a bit more strength in the depth. And obviously we missed Muzz the other night, but he can come in, and he's another type of left winger that can drive the ball forward, and Bunny's done well. And yeah, well, like I said, I'm happy in knowing that we can go into games hurting teams, and we've done that this week, and hopefully we can keep that tight and then go and nick one maybe. And obviously it might not be so attractive at home when you're playing such a good team, but then winning's winning.
It'd be wrong of me not to talk about your goal against Derby when we're doing the Derby preview. Another one of those won't go amiss.
Oh, well, I wouldn't mind one of them. I don't know if I could kick it that far, but no, yes, it seems a long time ago that, but yeah, that's firmly stored up there.